Before this video truly begins, I need you to make a decision, not a casual, half-hearted decision, but one that sets the tone for what you are about to experience. Some people will watch this video and walk away sharper, more alert, capable of reading the world in ways they never could before. Others will feel uncomfortable, almost exposed, as if reality itself has shifted under their feet. The difference between those two groups is simple. Those who stay until the end, who endure, who commit to the process, will experience something profound. Those who leave midway will never see what lies beyond the first layer of perception. If you are still here, I want you to commit, comment ready below. Not for me, not for validation, but for yourself. Because what you are about to learn is not a lesson, a trick, or a story. This is forbidden knowledge, hidden from ordinary eyes, designed to unlock parts of your mind most people never access. Parts that will allow you to see reality before it unfolds, to predict outcomes with precision, to feel patterns where others see randomness. Have you ever been in a situation and known how it would end before it happened? Felt a person's next words before they spoke? Walked into a room and experienced an invisible pull guiding you where logic could not reach? Most dismiss these moments as coincidence or intuition, but they are not. They are the first signals that your brain is capable of operating at a level beyond ordinary thought. The world is divided into two kinds of minds: those who see reality exactly as it is presented, and those rare minds that can read reality before it even unfolds. These individuals do not guess, they simulate. They run internal models so fast that their predictions become instinct. And when these simulations surface, the world calls it a sixth sense, intuition, or foresight. The truth is simpler and darker. This is not magic, not a gift, and certainly not luck. It is a precise biological process, a cognitive upgrade that transforms ordinary perception into a supernormal ability, a way to see the hidden architecture of the world. And today, you are stepping onto that path. This video is the doorway. Once you step through it, you will not return to the same ordinary perspective. There are 3 stages to this transformation, each one progressively rewiring the way your brain interacts with reality. Step 1 is understanding the hidden machine inside your brain, the one that runs simulations without your conscious permission, generating predictions that appear as coincidences, flashes of insight, or gut feelings. It is this mechanism that allows some people to detect lies instantly, move before accidents happen, or anticipate market shifts before the numbers even reflect the change. This is not intuition, it is accelerated simulation, a silent, invisible engine, operating at a speed ordinary consciousness cannot perceive. Step 2. The 3 dark rituals that train the sixth sense. This is the most dangerous section of the video. Here, you will learn 3 rituals that are rarely discussed, yet have the power to elevate your intelligence to a completely different level. The first is the silence ritual, where awareness sharpens like a blade. You will learn how silence erases mental static and refines perception so deeply that you begin to sense subtle changes in your environment, changes most people never notice. The second is the chaos ritual, where the mind learns to see clearly, inside pressure and disorder. This is where your nervous system stops reacting with fear and begins treating chaos as a training ground. The third is the pattern ritual, where awareness evolves into prediction. At this stage, you no longer observe the world the way others do. You begin to read patterns, and behind those patterns, you see the future forming. These rituals do not just make you faster, they transform you. They give you command over your emotional state, instead of allowing emotions to control you. Step 3, the final transformation. In the final stage, we reach a point where intelligence becomes unpredictable. This is no longer about being smart. This is about foresight. Here, you will learn how your brain can predict what someone is about to say before they speak, how decisions can be made before data even appears, how the warning signal is activated inside you before danger arrives. The world often refers to this as luck or intuition, but you will understand why those labels are inaccurate. At this stage, you are no longer living inside a reality defined by others. You begin to write your own. Randomness breaks down. The noise of the world fades. All that remains are patterns and the direction hidden behind them. After this moment, you are no longer a student. People will call you a genius without realizing that you did not outperform intelligence. You unlocked a forbidden sense. If you are ready, if you have the courage to walk through a door that cannot be closed again, then let us begin. Welcome to the forbidden sixth sense. Chapter 1, the tongue switch. Most people are born into the same mental cage, and they die in it. They are raised in the cradle of common sense. School teaches them that intelligence means memorizing dates, repeating formulas, and following predefined rules. Society tells them that grades, degrees, and IQ scores are the true measures of genius. But none of these things give real power. They only make you predictable. If intelligence were just logic, then the most logical people would be running the world, but they are not. If intelligence were just memory, then professors would rule everything, but they do not. The real power exists in a deeper layer, one that most people never access. People call it intuition, they call it gut feeling. But in reality, it is something far more precise. It is a switch inside your nervous system, a forgotten switch that turns your mind into a radar. And today, you are going to activate it. This switch is not metaphorical, it is biological. There is a physical switch hidden inside your mouth. Place the tip of your tongue gently against the roof of your mouth, just behind your front teeth. Hold it there. Now inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, then exhale through your nose for 6 seconds. Continue breathing in this rhythm, keeping the tongue in place. At first, it may feel useless. Do not stop. Within seconds, your nervous system will begin to shift. This tongue position completes an electrical loop in the body. It directly stimulates the vagus nerve and the brainstem. As a result, your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, and blood flow increases to the deeper regions of the brain. Mental background noise begins to fade, like static disappearing from a radio signal. Now observe what is changing. Your ability to hear sharpens. Small sounds that once went unnoticed become clear. Your eyes feel more open. The constant internal chatter of the mind begins to quiet down. In its place, a calm awareness emerges. Alert, alive, and focused. This is not meditation. This is not relaxation. This is predictive awareness mode. It is the state that geniuses accidentally reach. You are entering it deliberately. The science they don't teach you, the knowledge that school hides from you, because ordinary intelligence always arrives too late. Problems are understood only after damage is done. Lies are recognized after deception. Opportunities appear after someone else has taken them. But the sixth sense tells a very different story. It calms the nervous system and sharpens perception. The mind stops reacting and begins predicting. When someone reacts slightly out of place, you notice it, and in that moment, you understand they are lying. A subtle shift in the air is enough to signal danger. When a pattern changes, even slightly, the outcome becomes visible. That is why ancient warriors practiced this before battle. Monks used it before entering trance states. Detectives used it before interrogations. It was never about peace, it was about precision. This is your first activation. Sit straight, keep the tongue pressed to the roof of the mouth. Breathe through the nose. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Continue for 2 minutes. Notice how your senses change. This is the first step into the genius state. But there is a truth you must face. Unlocking this sense will not make you normal. You will feel more. You will notice pressure shifts in the air, changes in breathing patterns, the birth of subtle behaviors. At first, it may feel overwhelming, even uncomfortable, because you are seeing reality without filters. And now you understand the truth. Intelligence is awareness, sharpened to the point of prediction. You have tasted it, but awareness alone is not enough. It must be trained, accelerated, and stabilized. Silence sharpens it, chaos tests it, patterns elevate it into foresight. And that brings us to the next stage. Noise is the greatest enemy of the sixth sense. Modern life is designed to drown subtle signals in distraction. If you want to awaken bound intelligence, you must eliminate noise. This is the season of silence. When you enter silence, you tune your internal receiver. Static fades, hidden frequencies emerge. This is why geniuses appear magical. They notice what others ignore. Tesla visualized machines before building them. Leonardo da Vinci sketched discoveries centuries ahead of their time. These were not accidents. They lived in sustained states of heightened awareness. Now you will train the same ability. Find a quiet room, no screens, no sound, no interruptions. Dim the lights or sit in darkness. Sit upright, shoulders relaxed, spine straight. Activate the tongue switch. Breathe through the nose, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. For 15 minutes, do nothing except observe. Do not control thoughts, just monitor them. Notice subtle sensations, the temperature of your breath, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the tension leaving your muscles. Every subtle perception is progress. Inside your brain, chaos is settling. High-frequency noise collapses into coherent waves. You shift into alpha states associated with creativity, focus, and predictive thinking. Logic, memory, and perception begin to synchronize. At first, resistance appears, boredom, restlessness, doubt. This is mental static, fighting to survive. Stay. After several minutes, a shift occurs. The noise drops, awareness spreads, you stop thinking and start sensing. This is living silence. Train this daily, and when the world becomes loud again, you will hear what others cannot. Chapter 3, The Chaos Ritual. Silence sharpens awareness, but silence alone is not enough. The sixth sense cannot survive if it only exists in peace. It must live inside fire, because real life is never calm. Life is pressure, noise, conflict, deception, deadlines, and sometimes an atmosphere that feels like war. In moments like these, the world does not care how sharp you were during meditation. What matters is how clearly you can see when everything around you is collapsing. This chapter is your entry into that test. If you pass it, you will not simply become intelligent, you will become unbreakable. Why is chaos the true test of genius? Because ordinary people lose clarity under pressure. Their breathing becomes fast and shallow. Their awareness shrinks. Their decisions turn impulsive and emotional. This is why most people fail. When situations become difficult, their perception collapses at the exact moment it is needed the most. Geniuses are different. They maintain clarity even when the environment turns hostile. On battlefields, commanders who survived were not the strongest, but the clearest. In chess tournaments, the winners are those who think precisely under time pressure. In financial markets, the best traders remain calm while numbers collapse in front of their eyes. The sixth sense must be trained the same way. It must be sharpened inside deliberate stress. This is the chaos ritual. You do not need war to train this. Chaos exists everywhere, if you know how to create it. Cold exposure, cold showers where the body wants to panic. Physical exhaustion, sprinting until the lungs burn and the legs shake. Hunger, when the appetite screams and the body demands comfort. Sleep restriction, waking up tired and forcing awareness, instead of collapsing back into rest. The goal is not pain. Pain is only the doorway. When stress hits, your nervous system automatically goes into survival mode. Heart rate rises, breathing becomes shallow, awareness collapses inward. Your job is to override this response. Return to the tongue switch. Lock the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Control the breath. 4 seconds in through the nose. 6 seconds out through the nose. Even if the body resists, command it. Now spread awareness. Do not focus on the pain. Do not focus on discomfort. Spread awareness outward. Notice the room. Notice the sounds. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Hold this state. Start small. 30 seconds is enough in the beginning. Slowly increase it to 1 minute, then 2, then longer. The goal is not endurance. The goal is clarity while the body is under attack. Ask yourself one honest question. When does real power awaken? When everything is calm or when the storm explodes in your face? That is the truth. Every repetition rewires your nervous system. Every time you hold clarity inside chaos, your brain learns a new rule. Stress is not danger. Stress is training. Inside the brain, something important happens. For most people, stress activates the amygdala. Fight or flight takes control. Rational thinking shuts down. The sixth sense goes dark. But when you lock posture, control breathing, and spread awareness, you send a different signal. Blood flow returns to the prefrontal cortex. You stay sane while others panic. The longer you hold this state, the deeper the rewiring becomes. Slowly, your nervous system learns. This is not a threat. This is my training ground. At first, chaos feels overwhelming, cold bites the skin, hunger irritates the mind, fatigue roars in your ears. You will want to stop. That resistance is expected, but then something changes. The pain does not disappear, but it moves into the background. Awareness expands. You notice details you never noticed before. There is silence inside the noise. This is the real breakthrough. And when this clarity appears, it is cold, controlled, and precise. So precise that it may scare you, because you realize something dangerous. If I can see clearly here, I can see clearly anywhere. This is real-world power. After this training, things change. When someone raises their voice, you do not flinch. You hear the crack in their tone that reveals weakness. When life collapses suddenly, you do not freeze. You see the pattern in the next step instantly. When others panic, you move with surgical precision because their perception shuts down and yours stays alive. This is not peace. This is weaponized clarity. Daily chaos training. Choose one storm every day. It does not need to be extreme. Even 60 seconds of cold exposure is enough if done correctly. Enter the chaos. Lock the tongue. Control the breath. Spread awareness. Then step out. Afterward, write one short note, not about pain, about clarity. What details did you notice? Did awareness collapse or expand? Were you present or reactive? This is how the sixth sense becomes instinct. Transformation. The rest of the world collapses under pressure. The rest of the world thinks clearly only when conditions are perfect. You will think clearly when the world is burning. Others drown in chaos. You control it. This completes the chaos ritual. Silence sharpened your awareness. Chaos hardened it. Now comes the final evolution. Because seeing clearly is survival, but seeing what comes next is dominance. In the next chapter, you will learn the pattern ritual, the ability to see not just what is happening, but what is about to happen. That is the true difference between ordinary humans and those who move ahead of time. Chapter 4, the pattern ritual. You have silenced the noise, you have survived the storm. Now comes the real transformation. Ask yourself a simple question. What do the greatest minds in history actually have in common? It is not memory, it is not speed, it is not education, it is patterns. Newton did not just see an apple fall. Everyone saw that. He saw the same law acting on the moon. Darwin did not just see birds. Everyone saw birds. He saw tiny differences repeating across generations. Market legends do not just look at numbers. They see movements, cycles, and repetitions hidden inside the data. They saw patterns. The sixth sense is not magic. It is simply pattern recognition, trained to such a high level. First, choose your battlefield. Patterns exist everywhere. You simply have to decide where you want to look. Human micro-expressions, small gestures, markets rise and fall, weather changes. Once you choose your battlefield, the ritual begins. Step 1, daily observation log. Every day, write down 5 small observations. Not big theories, not long analysis, just simple facts. Short, clear, specific. For example, he blinked twice before answering a difficult question. The market dipped around 10 a.m. again. The air felt heavier before the rain started. My focus drops every afternoon at the same time. People hesitate before saying no. These details look meaningless at first, but they are not. Step 2, weekly review. At the end of each week, read everything you wrote. Do not overthink or force conclusions, just read calmly. Patterns will reveal themselves. Repeated behaviors, mistakes, and signals will stand out. Pattern recognition does not come from effort, it comes from exposure. Give your mind the material, and it will connect the dots on its own. Step 3, add predictions. After a few weeks, write 3 simple predictions. Keep them clear and calm. Some will be wrong, that is fine. With time, your accuracy improves as your brain quietly learns patterns and responds faster than logic. This is the beginning of sixth sense. The brain is not built to think, it is built to predict. Every second, it tries to guess what happens next. But constant noise, endless scrolling, and random information weaken this ability. Feed it garbage, and it produces garbage. When you give it clear observations and repeated patterns, everything changes. Memory sharpens, awareness improves. The mind starts running quiet simulations. So when a moment happens, it feels familiar, not because it is supernatural, but because your brain already recognized it. At first, it feels like coincidence. You predict something right once, then again, you call it luck, but the pattern keeps repeating. Soon, you sense things before they happen. Who will call? When something shifts? When someone is lying? The accuracy becomes too consistent to ignore. Others react. You prepare. Others panic. You move. Others guess. You know. That is the difference between intelligence and foresight. In conversations, you sense what someone will say before they speak. You catch the slight pause before a lie. In business, you feel which decision will work before the numbers confirm it. In danger, you move a second earlier, and sometimes that second matters. People may call it luck or talent. It is neither. It is trained perception. It is the sixth sense. This practice is not temporary. It is not a short challenge. It is a skill for life. The more you observe, the sharper you become. The sharper you become, the faster you predict. And the faster you predict, the more control you gain. It compounds. Over time, your thinking changes. What once felt random becomes clear. The world stops looking like chaos and starts making sense. You are no longer guessing. You are reading the patterns. Now, everything connects. Silence teaches you to notice what others miss. Chaos teaches you to stay clear. Patterns teach you to see ahead. The change is not about becoming smarter. It is about becoming anticipatory. You stop waiting. Your mind moves first. Decisions feel instant. Actions feel precise. Before others react, you already understand. Before danger forms, you sense it. Before opportunity appears, you are moving. People call it luck or talent. It is neither. It is awareness trained into instinct. You no longer follow the world. You read it, predict it, and when necessary, shape it. This is your sixth sense.